When you're trying to improve your health, let's say lose weight, one of the common things you hear is, well, just work out more or start exercising, right? Start moving your body. But if you don't understand what your body actually needs in terms of movement, such as the intensity, the type of workout, the um, time of day, even, it can really not create the progress that you're hoping for. And it can create really more stress that ends up being something that you drop in terms of habit versus weight. So, how to holistically move your body is an important aspect when you're looking at how do I make health changes? How do I incorporate exercise in the right way that aligns to what my body specifically needs? So I talk about exercise a lot. I think exercise is good for us. We need it, right? But again, until you know the right exercise for you, it can really kind of create a barrier to making progress with it. So, what if, for instance, your mind is like, I don't want to go to spin class today. That sounds too hard. I didn't enjoy it, right? What if emotionally you are just in a spot where you can't focus? You're not in the headspace to go through with it. And what if it's just not the right exercise or personal trainer or program that's fit for you? There's many considerations when we talk about exercise and how to use it to actually improve our health. It is important and we do need to do it. But again, finding that right level of activity, intensity, timing, um, all the factors of it, we're kind of creating our own worst enemy. And I think this is why a lot of people don't keep up with gym membership. They don't keep up with the weight loss program because when it comes to exercise, we can all find a million reasons not to do it, but we can also find a million reasons why it's not right for us. So, what I find with my clients and myself, even, is we give up and we fade away from the physical activities because they're not really engaging us, right? They don't have our interests. And the type of exercise routines that people tend to maintain long term are the ones that not only move the body, but they mentally and socially and emotionally all connect for us as well. There's interaction there, there's support, there's engagement, and we look forward to doing it, even on days when we don't, because all of these factors and aspects of ourself feel good from the experience, right? It's not just forcing our body into a physical movement. So, first, let's consider what it means to physically move your body. And what I tell my clients is that doesn't have to be brutal. We don't have to hate it. It doesn't have to hurt. Yes, we need to sweat a little. We need to get that heart rate moving. We need to do a little strength training, especially as we get older. But a good, healthy walk, just walking, is one of the best exercises that we can do. And there's a lot of benefits to our health that come from it that reach all of the aspects I talked about earlier. So for me, this is more than just getting on a treadmill with a TV where you zone out. This is about active walking, walking with a friend, having a conversation while you do it, talking to nature, absorbing with your senses what is going on around you, right? It's not about zoning out. It's about actively engaging in this activity. And there's a variety of activities that are also important that we move different muscle groups. And I think, again, walking is one of the best ones to start with. But we do need to also look at cardiovascular, skeletal, muscular, and just overall fitness. Now, one of the biggest factors in physical movement is developing consistency. This is where having a variety and things that are interesting to you matter, because if it's not interesting, you don't care about doing it, and it's miserable doing it every time, you're not going to keep up with it. So mental stimulation is also important when we exercise. You know, um, we want to combine activities that engage all of us at the same time. It's one thing to go work a puzzle or a crossword puzzle or something that stimulates the mind. I think those are beautiful activities. But when you get into a physical activity that engages the mind, it engages the emotions, and it helps you feel better all the way around, those are the best kind of exercises. So, in this way, again, kind of walking with a friend, playing a game outside with the kids, playing tag, right? Moving your body, having fun, making it engaging is where we find the best kind of movement. And having that on all levels can really be helpful. Now, one of the best yoga classes I ever took, it included Christian prayers and Bible verses as we move through different poses. I really love this technique. And it was incredibly effective at moving the body. Yoga is really good at that. But it connected my emotions. It connected my mind because I was thinking about the verses she was reading, right? And it helped me feel on my spiritual life. It helped me feel connected to God. And I think these are beautiful activities that, again, kind of expand the compass of all of the aspects of who we are. Now, in Japan, they have this practice called forest bathing, Shinrin-yoku, and it's the act of walking through the forest in communion with trees and nature. And this is a great slow-paced, gentle exercise. Again, you're literally just walking through the woods, but you're activating your mind, you're activating your senses, you're pulling in your emotions, you're tapping into the spiritual side of yourself, and you're physically moving your body, right? So it touches all of it. And while we always can't go out in nature and do these things, one of the things I have found effective is that doTERRA actually has an oil blend that's mimics that experience of walking through a forest, and it creates the same benefits from physically doing that. So what I'd like to do with this is diffuse it, and that's when I will get on my treadmill and I'll put on some um, sound in my ears that is nature related, right? It's a white noise kind of water trickling or birds chirping or some other kind of natural sound, and I can envision myself walking through the forest, right? You can simulate this in your home. So that is where, I will say, yes, equipment can be helpful, but whenever you can get out in nature and physically do it directly, that's always the best. So again, when you bring together mind, body, spirit, emotional ways to physically move the body, I think we tap into the really beneficial reasons why we need to exercise. We feel better from doing it, and it just doesn't become a physical brutality act against ourselves that we end up hating and we can't move from, and we don't want to do it again. So I call this kind of mind body exercise, and a lot of times we just think things like yoga, but I'm seeing it's all physical ways you move your body, and it's what we need to actually feel the benefits of exercise overall. Now, it sounds simple, but it actually takes a little bit of work to break up the idea that we can just have this expectation of moving our body and that's all there is to it. We are so trained to compartmentalize different aspects of ourselves that it honestly takes sometimes more work to bring it all back together and start realizing some of these benefits. So, striking that balance between moving with routine and flexibility to do what's right for you is what takes time to build and define what that looks like. And it requires so much of what we can do for our health in a much more personal way. And listening, really tuning into what our body, mind, emotions, spirit are actually asking for. And I promise you, they are actually asking you to move your body. It feels good to move your body, but it's asking you to plug all parts of yourself in the course of doing that. So I like to call this holistic exercise, right? Holistic movement, where we nurture all aspects of ourself in the process of physical movement. And it's stimulating, it's engaging, it's interesting. It leaves us feeling refreshed, and it leaves us with encouragement to keep doing it again and again. So this is what I teach my clients. And we actually spend time figuring out what this looks like for them individually so that they feel positive and they have confidence to keep building on it. And ultimately, I've had some that end up joining the gym and working with personal trainers and having really wild success from that. I've had the majority of my clients that end up finding a personalized journey with health that leaves them feeling confident about exercise and having the right amount of it in their day so that they can have the health benefits and not feel the stress and the routine and the confinement that we often find with traditional formal exercise. So, to work with me on your holistic exercise program, reach out to me at dragonspitapothecary.com.